Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of FMLPK. Just a quick reminder, we have an early kickoff this week, Friday, 11th December at 11:30 p.m. Hopefully, COVID is not going to delay this early kickoff as it did last week. And speaking of that, bad news that it seems like the AVL versus Newcastle fixture is not going to be rescheduled for this week, with cases in the Newcastle camp almost doubling, as per some reports. So, keeping that in mind, and also Champions League fixtures tonight, and Europa League fixtures, I believe, as well. So look for clues as to what managers might do for game week 12 before you decide to make your changes. Or you could just be like me and Wildcard right now, as I have done. Yeah. So completely up to you. So let's bring up Salman first, as we always do. Did decently enough. You got 57 points. You took -4 to get Cavani in, which was kind of a bum rap, I suppose, because I do believe going forward in the next 5, 8, 10 game weeks that he does get starts. He does get the nod.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I once again, as has been the case for the last 4 or 5 game weeks, my captaincy pick has been horribly wrong. I brought in Cavani and I made him the captain. The obvious choice would have been Son, Salah, Vardy.
I feel like that was your mistake. Like bringing in Cavani was perhaps not a mistake, as you might be redeemed in the coming week. But captaining him as well, was perhaps not the wisest decision.
It certainly wasn't. I think what I'm trying to do is trying to get a big leap over 7 or 8 players on top of me. And in my mind, wrongfully, the only way to do that is to get a jackpot with a completely differential player. Cavani is the sort of player who can score a hat-trick, but that wasn't to be. He was taken off 45 minutes. So wrong choice once again.
But, I want to stop you there. I think that, again, I'm going to say that Cavani was not a bad choice to get in.
It wasn't.
It was a bad choice to captain. And
it was an educated risk.
And to say that you're going to jump in rank in one game week over like 5 or 6 players who might be above you, that's just not going to happen. Like, where you can catch up is, for example, right now, as of today, you can catch up with differential picks, 1 or 2 good differential picks over this festive period that we're going to have, where we're going to witness 6 games over the space of 18 days, should COVID not delay anything else.
So it's not necessarily that I jump places, as long as I can reduce the deficit that I have against the guy who's on top, who once again is Fahad Saleem. He's been there since game week 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a non-surprise now, but so try to reduce that gap and not necessarily jump a couple of places. But if that happens, then great. But Cavani is the sort of player, or I thought he's the sort of player who could possibly get 2 goals and an assist. I knew Martial wouldn't start,
and he did prove to be last week.
Yeah, he came on 45 minutes
when he came on and scored those goals.
Yeah. The other reason for taking these risks is the wildcard time is around the corner, so one can take the liberty, especially if you're in a position like mine, which is in the bottom half of the league. That for the next 2 weeks or so, you can take a couple of risks. It's not going to do any harm. You're not going to lose many positions. I've lost 1 position. Big deal. There are 12 players above me, which is hurtful. So that's the risk I took. It didn't pay off.
Anyway, so what are your plans for next week? Are you wildcarding?
No.
Or just waiting another week and going for a single transfer?
I'm extremely tempted to wildcard, but then I looked at my team, and considering the matches that are coming up, I've got 8 or 9 players that I would have in my wildcard team. So I'll probably wait a couple of weeks. What I have done is I'll probably take another -4. I've shipped out Townsend, who didn't start, and he was going to lose value, and I got in a player who's 4.3, Oliver Burke, so I can free up some funds.
And who's that?
Some Sheffield placeholder. He might not start, but as I said, I'm 2-3 weeks away from wildcard. I can afford to have a player who will not start. Normally, I never do that, but that's over a longer period of time. But since wildcard is 3 weeks away,
And-
I can have somebody who's not going to play.
So who are you now going to get for your negative
So
and take a minus hit?
I'll probably take a call on Friday to decide whether to take out Cavani and bring in either Wilson, depending on the COVID update, or Bamford. I think Bamford is now a must-have. He is a great value. He's got the highest XG for this season. He's got the highest number of shots for this season. It's just turned out to be an amazing purchase.
Aren't you worried that he's going to increase in price if you wait till Friday?
Yeah, he might, but that's the risk. I mean, I've got 1.6 in the bank already. And Cavani is 8.1.
So you're not worried about being priced out?
No, not at all. I've got a lot of money. I mean, I have to somehow.
Would you consider instead of dropping Cavani for Bamford, would you consider dropping DCL for Bamford?
No. DCL has the highest number of goals this season. And
Okay.
Also, if I'm not wrong, I think the difference in price, in the purchase price and selling price for me is 7.6 and 8. So I lose 0.4 on selling him. And if I want to bring him back wildcard time, I will have lost 0.4. So no way can I sell him and bring him back.
I understand. But aren't you at all concerned about his XG and how it's dropped significantly over the last 2 game weeks?
Sorry, can you repeat? Can you repeat the question?
Are you not concerned about his underlying stats have significantly taken a hit over the last 3 or 4 game weeks?
DCL?
Yes.
DCL has scored 3 goals in the last 3 game weeks.
Yeah, I'm not saying he has scored goals, but his underlying stats are not as great as they were in the first 4 game weeks. What I mean to say is, do you think it's not? I think it's a matter of time where his output in terms of fantasy points starts matching his underlying stats.
Yeah,
he might have been overperforming these last 2-3 game weeks.
Yeah, that's possible, but I mean,
and given the fixture run that they're going to go on, Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, Sheffield in the middle, and then Manchester City, might be a good time to cash in on him.
In my view, Chelsea might be a clean sheet for Chelsea. Leicester, I don't think will be a clean sheet. Arsenal for sure won't be a clean sheet. I'm talking about for those teams, and Sheffield for sure won't be a clean sheet for it. So in the next 4 game weeks, 3 game weeks, Everton have a good chance of scoring. Chelsea have been really solid at the back, and so
of course, I'm not saying that. I agree with you. Listen, he has been getting the numbers despite his underlying statistics not being too well. I just thought that it might be a good time to cash out on him.
Yeah, but I'm not.
And then once the fixtures swing later,
bring him in. But I will have lost 0.4, and on Cavani, I won't have. I will not lose anything. So if you compare Cavani with DCL, who would you rather keep based on the results so far? DCL. Cavani is playing against City, which is a really
DCL,
tough game.
Obviously.
So and Bamford, I really think it has to be in the team. He has the highest number of shots for the season. He has got the third highest XG. So he's a must-have at I think 6.1, 6.2. It makes a lot of sense to bring him in now. It's already too late. I don't have him. It's a mistake. I brought in Watkins, which again was a risk that I took. Didn't pay off. I should have brought in Bamford, same price, better result.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I bring in Wilson instead of in place of Cavani.
Oh, good fixtures.
Yeah, they've got West Brom, Leeds,
But
Fulham.
you might want to wait on
Yes.
You might want to wait on the COVID news before
Yeah.
you bring in Wilson.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So, all right, that covers it. So let's talk about your team, Murtaza. You did pretty all right this week.
Considering only
You got
10 of
65
my
points on the board.
Yeah, not bad. Well,
I feel like you got unlucky with the captain pick.
Yeah, I could have picked anyone else and it would have been better.
Who was your captain?
Except Fernandes. But happy that it came on and
Fernandes was left out, as we know.
Yeah. Came in second half.
Yeah, and got a record for it.
Yeah.
Ski passes. But happy with it. I was
Key passes.
terrified of not owning KDB for this game week. And I guess they all were fairly even, all the big hitters. So 2 changes in hand for me.
Yeah.
And I'm strapped out.
So what are your plans?
Well, if Wilson goes for another blank, then Bamford comes in for me. And that gives me a little bit of budget to upgrade Mitchell to Alioski so that I have a strong bench then.
Okay.
Otherwise, no.
That sounds fair enough. Other than that, I feel like your team is in pretty solid shape.
Yeah, I've got a good captain pick.
In Salah, Son, Fernandes, and Grealish, and
yeah,
Salah, right? Salah's your captain for this week.
Yeah, I mean, he better be.
So, any thoughts on the wildcard? Thinking about it?
Yeah, I was speaking with Salman, and we're hoping by next week we have the schedule for the games for Jan, and that will dictate that double game week and the blank game week coming up 18-19. And I don't really want to overhaul except to get KDB in somehow, which means letting go of most likely Kane. So I want to keep Kane for December.
Wow. You're gonna let go of Kane for KDB?
No, I don't want to. But that's the only way I can get him in.
KDB is becoming almost a must-have now.
Okay.
So
I got him a couple of weeks ago. I've been very happy since I got him.
Although again, it's almost wildcard time, so it's fine. But you just shouldn't. Nobody should have 12 or 13 regular starters. You need to have 15. Keeping in mind COVID, and we've seen it happen this week. I have 3 Villa players, and then I had Townsend, so I had 4 non-starters. So in essence, the points I got were for 10 players, not for 11. So this Mitchell character you need to get rid of, regardless of whether Wilson plays or not. But as I see, you don't have any money in the bank, so you can't get anyone in place of Mitchell.
No.
So you're a little stuck.
Yeah. And hence watching out for that doubling up on any team, because if a team goes out, that's 2 players down.
Yeah. It's getting a little tricky.
Yeah. So I'll wait. I mean, I'll burn a change on somehow. I don't know. Mitchell has gotten me stuck there.
And are you expecting some double game weeks in January? I think it will get very, very tricky.
Sure.
January, February, COVID situation coming up, backlog of games which have not happened. It'll get very interesting.
Triple game week for Villa, hopefully.
All right.
Possible.
Okay, let's get
But
to
how
Mr.
many
Wild.
games is Grealish going to start then? Maximum 2, right?
Out of 3,
He doesn't start 3 games in triple game week.
Yeah. He's the captain of the team. He's the heartbeat of Villa.
All right. Let's see. No doubt. All right. So I'm going to bring up my old team first for game week 11. I got 65 points. Got unlucky with ZH getting injured. And again, picked the wrong captain in Fernandez. Could have gone with De Bruyne or Kane, or even Bamford, but I got burnt last week with Bamford the week before this. So I was a bit shy and I went for the safe pick, which didn't work out. Luckily, I had a decent enough bench with this whole Grealish situation, and Walker Peters came in for me, and he got the penalty assist that Ings scored. So
that was a horrible decision, by the way.
It worked out a little bit.
Regardless of the points.
Yeah, it was outside the box.
It was outside the box. Yeah, it was outside the box. It's just, this VAR is absolute crap. Absolute crap.
Yeah. Anyways, so I have wildcarded.
Oh, shit.
And actually, I should have done it last night. But
you should have
I
done
didn't.
It
I wanted to sleep on it and think about it.
So,
I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I've done it now. So let's just bring up my team right now. So this is what my team looks like, and I made 7 changes. And essentially, what I've done is I haven't touched my front striking force except for DCL. I've dropped Calvert-Lewin for the reasons that I stated while I was talking about your team, is because I felt like I wanted to cash out on him. His underlying stats, I feel, have dropped a little bit, and it's only a matter of time before his performances, his FPL output, matches his underlying stats.
You've taken
that's
out
what
Fernandez
I did.
as well?
I got in Brewster instead of DCL. Yeah, I got rid of Fernandez. I got rid of Grealish.
Yeah, you've gotten rid of Grealish as well.
Yeah. So I got rid of ZH, Fernandez, Grealish, and I got in Pulisic, Salah, and Son instead. And I mean, Son and Salah are pretty much self-explanatory.
And you have no money in the bank after this?
I have 0.3. I believe I have 0.3 in the bank after this.
And Brewster is...
I have 0.1. Sorry, 0.1 in the bank. So I'll tell you, basically, I've taken a little bit of a punt on Pulisic, I feel, in midfield. That's the only thing. Considering that Ziyech is injured, I feel like he definitely will get more game time now. Seeing the way he played the previous game and the goal that he got, he looks fit enough. I'm pretty sure that his game time will be managed, but I'm willing to take a gamble on that. And the thing is, having him in my team, then at that price, affords me a lot of options going forward. I can always downgrade him back to Grealish. I have that option. I can downgrade him to Jota. No problem. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people must have brought in Diogo Jota this week, only to be disappointed.
Yeah. And we knew his game time was going to be managed. It's a similar, and I could have still kept Grealish, but then that whole COVID thing happened. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I've done. And then at the back, I've made some changes as well. I dropped Taylor and for Vladimir Kufal of West Ham.
Sorry, who?
And then I dropped Justin for Alioshki of Leeds.
No, before that, who did you bring in?
Vladimir Kufal.
Okay, and not Cresswell.
No, I really wanted Cresswell, but isn't Cresswell like more expensive?
He is, yes.
Cresswell is 5.2, so I can't get him. I ideally would have liked to have Cresswell in my team over him.
Yes.
But like it just not making sense money wise. So that, and then and I downgraded Chilwell to Zuma. I mean, I don't know if it's a downgrade or not. I still feel like even though he's getting goals and he's a very high scoring defender, I feel like the goals are going to dry up, you know. But on the flip side, they have good clean sheet potential. So
True.
Yes.
True.
It's okay. Laugh it up, funny man.
So you've taken out Fernandes, but in any case, I think there are two defenders who we've argued over, who you now have in your team. So just makes me feel good. Me feel good. I think they're the right ones to have. Zuma scored yesterday or day before yesterday, whenever he played. I think it was on Sunday. So Zuma scored. He's cheaper than.
Here's
Chilwell.
Another thing about Chelsea. Right now, they are the best team on set pieces. If you look at the last 6 game weeks, like the reason I said no to Zuma before, like if you look at Chelsea over the last 7 game weeks, they're a completely different team to what they were at the start of the season. At the start of the season, they were kind of like the Chelsea of last season, where they were scoring a lot of goals, but they were letting in a lot of goals and they weren't able to see out games. Okay, but all of a sudden, with Thiago Silva coming in and settling in, it's just a totally different type of Chelsea now. Yeah, they don't attack as much, but they still have that goal threat because of all the flair players that they have. But they're really being able to see out games now, shut out games now, and like obviously their threat from set pieces has like skyrocketed all of a sudden. Like the conversion is so good now from set pieces.
They're keeping clean sheets, and Zuma is instrumental when it comes to it.
This trend, statistically speaking, was just not there before to like make an informed decision. Like I still feel like I'm a bit iffy on Zuma. I would have liked to have Chilwell if I had the money for it, but I don't have the money.
Yeah.
And the other thing that played a factor was like, Lampard said some very positive things about how Zuma is like trying to improve his game and, extra training and all that. And then like I was looking at like all the set pieces that he scored. His size gives him such a unbelievable advantage in the box. I mean, like he just goes up in the air and no one can catch him. He's so big, he can just shrug anyone off.
Yeah, he's got a big presence.
Yeah.
In defense as well as in the box.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I feel like Thiago Silva has had a very big impact on Zuma's
I think even bigger than that, Mendy has been incredibly instrumental in those clean sheets.
Oh, of course, and then Mendy,
a huge upgrade.
I just didn't expect like Mendy and Silva to settle in so well so quickly.
Yeah,
and I mean, obviously, it can still turn around. I mean, they could start having a horror show in December.
Yeah, but I mean,
you never know. I mean, that's just the game of football.
That's just the game. But if you look at Alisson and Van Dijk, they did exactly what Thiago Silva and Mendy are doing for Chelsea. So they've been instrumental in those clean sheets.
Yeah.
So a good team. Brewster.
So that's pretty much it. And then you can see, Brewster's just a placeholder. It's because now I'm more midfield heavy in my team,
and it's getting there.
And, I feel like with Kane and
with Kane
and Bamford, I feel like I'm okay in the strikers department.
Yeah, absolutely. It's becoming a midfield game again, like last season. You've got your Fernandes, Son, Salah, and KDB, almost essentials.
Good luck deciding a captain now.
Yeah. So for this week, it's very obvious. I mean, it's has to be Mo Salah against Fulham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
the worst team.
I'm not
You
taking
know,
any risk.
if you, yeah. So if you look at, I just lost the stats there somehow. But if you look at, defensively speaking, the last two game weeks, Fulham have just been really bad from that left-hand side.
And
So,
Fulham have conceded the
And
second
you know,
highest number of goals. Yeah, they've gotten a little
yeah.
better, but they're still really bad.
So Fulham have conceded 8 chances from the left-hand side where Salah is going to be operating in the last two game weeks. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer. I think Salah is very rested also with that whole COVID situation that went down. And I think he's going to be really, really eager to sort of catch up with his goal scoring. So I'm slightly tempted by Son also because Crystal
Crystal
Palace
Palace.
is a bit juicy and like, and you saw that goal that he scored against Arsenal. I mean, it was a nice goal. I mean, Arsenal were terrible, man. Those guys could have gotten on him, but they gave him so much space to operate on in. Like it was crazy.
Just horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Who's the guy with the hairdo, the big hairdo? What's his name? Guendouzi?
Guendouzi?
yeah.
Matteo Guendouzi.
Was he playing?
No, I don't think he was. The problem
he
with
wasn't? I was just watching the highlights and I was like, how these Arsenal players gave him so much space to like operate. It was just unbelievable. Like Tottenham would have never allowed them such space to operate.
Yeah, I mean, Mourinho is masterclass.
Yeah. And Mourinho is working his second season magic. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about captain picks. Salman, let's go with you. Who's your captain?
Salah.
I think it's a unanimous pick
Yeah.
this week.
It has to be Salah for me. I'm not taking any
Salah.
risks.
All right.
I've had really bad 4-5 game weeks, captaincy wise. So Salah it is.
And how about vice captain?
Vice captain for me is vice captain is yeah, I think it is Vardy. Yes, they're playing Brighton away, Brighton at home.
Vardy.
So
Yeah.
What
about you, Salman? Vice captain for you?
Vardy.
Vardy for him, Bruno for me.
Bruno.
Okay.
Oh.
Not Son?
No, I just want to make sure he play. You never know which Bruno shows up, man. It's a big game.
It's a big game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think KDB is a good shout.
All right.
He likes to perform.
Against Man United, you know it, man.
Yeah.
KDB is becoming a must-have.
All right. Well, yeah. So, is there anything else to add, Salman?
No, I just hope my captain performs once every month.
Okay.
Another thing, guys, game week 13 starts off midweek. So we'll probably catch up with everyone in game week 14.
Shit, really? Oh,
Yes.
it starts on Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday
You got to be back to back.
at 9:30.
Yeah.
So
Watch
we
out for
probably
that.
won't be able to put out an episode for the midweek game week, and we'll be back for before game week 14 then. And just a quick reminder again: early kickoff Friday, 11:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Be sure to make your changes before that, and look out for the European fixtures tonight and tomorrow for any clues as to what managers might do and any injuries that may or may not happen. And good luck.
Good luck. And also the Newcastle situation.